Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I'm going over all of the Week 10 wide receiver rankings from ranking number 1 at the wide receiver position all the way to 32. Now, before I get in the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is my favorite website to play daily fantasy on, and it is very, very, very simple. Even I can get and play well on this website. Now, it is very, very simple. Like I said, it's a start sit format. All you got to do is make 12 picks plus 3 alternate picks, and it is super simple. Pretty much right here, you can see one of the examples here would be Lamar Jackson versus Aaron Rodgers. Personally, Lamar Jackson against the Cincinnati Bengals, I think that is a very easy matchup. So to me, I think he will outscore Aaron Rodgers against the Carolina Panthers. It is that easy. All you got to do is do that 11 more times plus the 3 alternate picks, and you can go and try to win that money. Now, if you go that perfect 12-0 in the $109 game, you could win $28,000. I know that's like a lot of money, but even in the $2 game, you could win roughly $3,500 if you have that beautiful 12-0. Now, if you were in the top 10% of the entries in that contest, you win 9 times your buy-in, which is huge. But before I end this roll, I'd like to actually tell you guys a new strategy that I have discovered that I personally have used the last couple of weeks that I've found some success in. So, say I like Jameis Winston a lot this week to beat Drew Brees. So, I picked Jameis Winston against the Arizona Cardinals, and then I'm going to stack him with his wide receiver, Mr. Mike Evans, to beat Tyreek Hill. Because if I personally believe that Jameis Winston is going to have a good game, I also believe Mike Evans will, and then you get 2 correct pretty much for the price of 1. At least to me, that makes a lot of sense, and is something that I like to implore every week on OverlayDFS.com. So, make sure to check them out. Link down below in the description, OverlayDFS.com. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Let's get right into this Week 10 wide receiver rankings. At number 1, we have Chris Godwin. Now, these rankings are mostly based off of PPR. If you have any questions about standard, let me know down below in the description. So, Chris Godwin is going to have a humongous matchup this week against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, in my opinion, I always like to rank Chris Godwin over Mike Evans. Even though Mike Evans has been performing better lately, I think Chris Godwin is just the safer play. Mike Evans is much more boom or bust, at least to me. He's either going to score 30 points or score you like 5 points and shit the bed for your team. Chris Godwin, on the other hand, is king of consistency. Even if he does bad, you're going to get 12 points. But if he does good, you're going to be seeing 30 or 40 potential points from Chris Godwin this week against the Arizona Cardinals, and that is why he is my number 1 ranked wide receiver. At number 2, we have Mr. Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is a very easy matchup, just like for Chris Godwin against the Cardinals. This is a easy matchup. The Atlanta Falcons defense is not very good. Michael Thomas is very good. Drew Brees is very good, and they have a love affair when throwing the ball. Obviously, Drew Brees throwing the ball to Michael Thomas. He loves throwing the ball to Michael Thomas, and I believe that Michael Thomas will easily be able to perform against Atlanta in the Mercedes Dome. Now, at number 3, we have Mike Evans. Like I said, I am going to rank Chris Godwin above him, but with that said, Mike Evans is still a great start. Both top 5 guys this week, especially against this soft Arizona defense. Now, at number 4, we have Mr. Cooper Kupp going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Brandon Cooks is out in this game, so I think Cooper Kupp is really going to be getting an uptick in targets. He still gets a shit ton of targets. I think against the Steelers, he's going to be getting even more. I love Cooper Kupp this week against the Steelers defense that is not all that good. At number 5, we have Julio Jones against the New Orleans Saints. Now, Matt Ryan should be playing in this game, and that makes Julio even better. Matt Ryan always feeds the ball to Julio Jones, and against the Saints defense, a defense that he can go long on, a team that he can score touchdowns on, I like Julio Jones this week against the New Orleans Saints. Now, number 6, we have Tyreek the Freak Hill going up against the Tennessee Titans. Now, right now, as I'm recording this video, I am not 100% sure if Pat Mahomes is playing or if he is going to not play. With or without Patrick Mahomes, I still love him. The Tennessee defense is good, but it doesn't matter to me. Tyreek Hill is going to be able to get open, and I'm going to just rank him as a top 10 guy every single week, whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Matt Moore, because to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the skill of the quarterback when you have a speedster like Tyreek Hill on the team. Even against a tough Tennessee defense, I like him this week. At number 7, we have Mr. D.A. Devontae Adams going up against the Carolina Panthers. Now, Devontae Adams has been not performing that well. Well, obviously, we saw him return last week. He got a shit ton of targets, but didn't really get any yards this game against the Carolina Panthers. If he's seeing double-digit targets again like he saw last week, he is going to blow his load all over the Carolina Panthers. He's going to take a deuce straight on the Panthers defense. I love Devontae Adams this week for a huge bounce back game, especially after last week. The Aaron Rodgers led Green Bay Packers got embarrassed by Phillip Rivers. At number 8, we have Mr. Tyler Lockett going against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know, Nick, you fucking idiot. The San Francisco 49ers defense is going to lock Tyler Lockett down. The thing is, now they've added Flash Gordon. So now there's 3 guys that they're going to have to cover in this game. Tyler Lockett is still going to get fed, whether there's 3 wide receivers there, there's 4 wide receivers there, there could be 6 wide receivers on the field, and Russell Wilson loves Tyler Lockett so much that Tyler Lockett is going to get fed in this game and produce in a PPR format where he's going to be getting a lot of targets. Now, at number 9, we have Mr. Kenny G. Kenny Golladay going up against the Chicago Bears. Now, it doesn't matter to me what defense Kenny Golladay is playing. Matt Stafford has been playing out of his mind the last couple weeks, a top 12 quarterback in fantasy football. This week against the Chicago Bears, I see no way that Kenny Golladay takes a decline. Kenny Golladay has been balling out the last couple of weeks. Last week, huge game, even with Marvin Jones having a huge game. So I think this week against the Chicago Bears, Kenny Golladay goes out there and performs again. Now at number 10, we have Mr. Amari Cooper, but he is questionable to go on this bout on Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not 100% sure he's going to play. I'm not 100% sure he's going to sit. But right now, where I'm sitting here at 2 in the morning on Friday morning, I see Amari Cooper playing in this game, and that is why he is ranked in the top 12. The Minnesota Vikings defense is good, but we see no matter what, he gets open, and Dak Prescott feeds him the ball. At number 11, we have Mr. A-Rob, Allen Robinson going up against the Detroit Lions. Now, I know, Mitch Trubisky is fucking terrible, and I've been telling you guys this for pretty much the whole season, that's why I don't like Allen Robinson. But I believe against the Detroit Lions defense that Allen Robinson will perform. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is for Allen Robinson. He will still perform. He performs every single week on a good basis, a safe, consistent basis, and I like him this week against the Detroit Lions. Now, my final top 12 wide receiver is Stephon Diggs going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we saw the Dallas Cowboys defense actually look pretty strong against the New York Football Giants, but the Minnesota Vikings are no garbage-ass Giants. They have Mr. Kirk Cousins, who's going to like that, throwing touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, in Jerry's world. I like Stephon Diggs this week, especially with Mr. Adam Thielen being out for the next couple of weeks. Now on to 13 through 24. So if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please click that subscribe button down below. So number 13, we have Mr. OBJ, Odell Beckham, Mr. Wristwatch, going up against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Odell Beckham has been taking a shit in your lineup for the last couple of weeks, and by the last couple of weeks, I pretty much mean all season, aside from week 2 against the New York Football Jets. Playing a tough Buffalo defense. Do I like him this week? No. Why is he ranked so high, you may ask? Because of the talent. I don't think I would even want to start Odell Beckham, but he's ranked 13 because I know that against the Bills, this could be the ultimate game for Baker and Odell to have the get-right game where Odell goes hard in the paint. At number 14, we have the other wide receiver in this game, but on the other side of the ball, John Brown going up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, John Brown has been performing all year as Josh Allen's number 1 wide receiver, and I see why he will perform again every single week. He's just an insta-lock for my lineup. He's an insta-lock for the top 15 because Josh Allen force feeds John Brown the ball. Now, number 15, we have Mr. Marvin Jones going against the Chicago Bears. And Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay, to me, are always going to be top 20. I'm always going to rank Kenny Golladay higher because he's the number 1 wide receiver on the team. But it doesn't typically seem to matter to Mr. Matty Snapback Matthew Stafford. He feeds the ball to both of them. And in this game, they can both perform even against a tougher Chicago Bears defense. And number 16, we have Mr. Emmanuel Sanders going against the Seattle Seahawks. Emmanuel Sanders' debut for the 49ers against the Arizona Cardinals against a soft defense, he played great. But this week, he gets a defense that is slightly better, probably a lot better, in the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I think Emmanuel Sanders will be Jimmy G's number 1 target, but I think they're going to try to go with more of a ground-based attack this week instead of letting Jimmy G air it out about 9 million times. So I like Emmanuel Sanders this week, but I like him to have a more regular, normal game, not a game where he goes out there and balls out, but he's still going to be a top 20 wide receiver. Number 17, we have Mr. Christian Kirk going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know Christian Kirk has not really been performing. He didn't perform last week, even though he was in a very good matchup. That was not a good matchup. I lied to you. That was a terrible matchup for Christian Kirk. And this week, he gets the soft ass Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is actually pretty good. Yeah, you want to know what they're good against? The run. You want to know what Christian Kirk does? Catches balls. He is a pass catcher. He is a wide receiver. That's why this is a fucking wide receiver video. And Christian Kirk is going to go into Tampa Bay, into Bruce Arians' place, and absolutely skullfuck the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At number 18, we have Mr. Michael Gallup, MG, going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, if Amari Cooper ends up missing time, he ends up missing this game. You can skyrocket Michael Gallup to be probably a few ranks higher, probably in the top 12, but even with Amari Cooper in the game, I believe in Michael Gallup. Dak Prescott clearly likes feeding him the ball. In my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys have a 1A, 1B situation, kind of like what the Vikings have when Thielen is healthy. 1A, Thielen, 1B, Diggs. In this team, Amari Cooper 1A, Gallup 1B. I like Gallup this week against the Minnesota Vikings. At number 19, we have Golden Tate going up against the New York Football Jets. The Giants are without Sterling Shepard yet again. They're without Evan Ingram, so I really think that Golden Tate's going to go out there in his home stadium, obviously, because they're at the Jets, but it doesn't matter. They play at the same fucking stadium. Golden Tate is going to go out there and play a big game against the New York Football Jets. We saw last week he made a catch that would mirror Odell's, a catch that may be better than Odell's, and against the Jets, I think he plays big. They got shit on by the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't think they let the Jets do that to them. Golden Tate should be in for a big matchup this week against the Jets, but you obviously have to temper your expectations because he's on the Giants and he has to rely on Mr. Pick Six, Mr. Fumble Boy, Danny Jones. Now, at number 20, we have Mr. Robert Woods going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Robert Woods has been atrocious this season. Not actually atrocious, just about average, not really performing up to my liking. He used to be one of those guys that I always had around top 12, but now he has fallen down into a hole. He's at 20 against the Steelers. The Steelers defense isn't even that good, but without Brandon Cooks, you would think he would get more targets, but I just don't trust Robert Woods, so I'm letting him be back here at number 20. At number 21, we have Mr. Juju Smith-Schuster going up against the LA Rams, likely getting the Jalen Ramsey lockdown coverage, so I don't want to start Juju. He's ranked number 21 because in a lot of situations, I may want to start him over those guys, but I wouldn't really trust Juju Smith-Schuster this week against the tough Jalen Ramsey. I don't really like it at all, but obviously you know Juju has that talent to potentially get loose and have a big play where it skyrockets him to be the number 20-ish guy in fantasy football. Coming in at number 22, we have Mr. Calvin Ridley going up against the New Orleans Saints. Now, I liked Calvin Ridley a lot in the offseason, but he hasn't really proved himself. But now, Mohamed Sanu got his ass shipped to the New England Deflatriots, and I like Calvin Ridley this week against the New Orleans Saints to have a bigger type of game. Now, obviously, there is some worry. The worry is Matt Ryan wasn't really targeting him much this season, but I know that if Calvin Ridley gets targeted against the Saints defense, he will be able to have a big game. So I like him to be the number 22 wide receiver. He comes with some risk. The risk is Matt Ryan hasn't been playing that good, and Matt Ryan has not been targeting him. At number 23, we have Mr. DJ Moore going up against the Green Bay Packers. Now, Carolina announces Cam Newton is on the IR, so it's going to be Kyle Allen all season, and Kyle Allen has been producing with DJ Moore the last couple of weeks. We've seen DJ Moore have big games. This week to me is no exception to be like around the 10, 12, 13, 14-ish point scoring. So I like him this week against the Green Bay Packers. Don't expect him to have a humongous game, but expect him to have an okay enough game to be a wide receiver too. Now, number 24, we have Mr. Zach Pascal going up against the Miami Dolphins. And last week, I told you guys in the live stream, start Zach Pascal, and you saw what he did. He balled out. Brian Hoyer, Jacoby Brissett. It doesn't fucking matter. Obviously, it'd be better if it was Jacoby B. Even with Mr. Brian Hoyer, I like Zach Pascal this week against the Miami Dolphins against a trash-ass defense. I think Zach Pascal may have potential to score even more than all of these guys, but he's hampered by the fact that it may be Brian Hoyer. Now on to 25 through 32. So if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. So at number 25, we have Mr. Curtis Samuel going up against the Green Bay Packers. And like I said, Kyle Allen does like to target DJ Moore a bit more than Cam did. He doesn't like Curtis Samuel as much, but Curtis Samuel still gets enough targets to warrant being a top 25 guy against Green Bay. At number 26, we have Devontae Parker going up against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Devontae Parker has been a touchdown machine the last couple of weeks. Do I believe he will score against the Colts? Probably. But are you going to rely heavily on that? I am not sure. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been getting lucky. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been feeding Devontae Parker, so he's obviously going to be a top 32 guy, but he doesn't break into the wide receiver 2-ish area because I don't love his situation in Miami. At number 24, or number 27, I should say, we have Mr. Jamison Crowder, Mr. JC, going against the New York Football Giants. Now, Jamison Crowder has been very, very consistent every single game. Sammy Mono, Sammy Darnold, Sammy Kidsey Ghost throws the ball to Jamison Crowder like he just has to catch the ball a million times because he just force feeds him, and he is going to give Jamison Crowder mono because he loves him so much. I think that Jamison Crowder has a good game, but the thing that tempers his upside is the fact that Sam Darnold has been sucking bad. He's been playing terrible, but obviously Jamison Crowder could still have a good game, but if he catches the ball 6 times and gets you 12 yards, you're still going to be disappointed even in a PPR format. Now, at number 28, we have Mr. Tyler, Boyd, going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the biggest issue with Tyler Boyd this week is the fact that he is playing with a backup quarterback. He's playing with Walmart version of Andy Dalton in Ryan Finley. I don't like Ryan Finley that much, or at all, actually. I don't like him at all, so that obviously hurts Tyler Boyd. He's still a guy you can start. He's still a guy with high upside. AJ Green is out, so Tyler Boyd may be getting force-fed because he's the best option on the team, and those younger quarterbacks typically rely on their best wide out. At number 29, we have DK Metcalf going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, DK Metcalf would have probably been ranked a bit higher had Flash Gordon not been added to this team. I think it hurts DK Metcalf, but I would still start him because I think he's going to get eased in and may not be getting force-fed like we see the Patriots. Once you get signed to the team, we saw AB get force-fed. We saw Mohamed Sanu get force-fed last week. I think not DK Metcalf. I think Flash Gordon will not be getting force-fed like he's on the New England Patriots. I think DK Metcalf will have a good game this week to warrant him being a wide receiver 3 flex option type of deal. Number 30, we have Mr. Marquise Hollywood Brown going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this matchup is amazing, but the thing is, he's always banged up. He's always getting hurt. And Lamar Jackson spreads the ball like no other person. He's spreading it like, I'm not even going to make that joke, but he loves spreading that thing. You know, he spreads the ball out so much. You could be anyone on the field. It'll be some random ass. It'll be like he'll throw the ball to Willie Snead, and then he'll throw the ball to Hollywood Brown, and then he'll throw it to Hayden Hurst, and then Mark Andrews. He throws it to everyone. So against the Cincinnati Bengals with a banged up Hollywood Brown, obviously he looked pretty good against the Patriots, but he's always fucking hurt. So I would not entirely trust him this week, and that's why he's ranked number 30. At number 31, we have Roby Anderson going up against the New York Football Giants. And like I said, Jamison Crowder is clearly Sam Darnold's love affair. He loves throwing it to Jamison Crowder, so that hurts Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, if he busts one for like 60 yards, Sam Darnold somehow actually hits him because Sam Darnold's terrible. Robbie Anderson has a good game, but do I see that happening? Not necessarily. At number 32, we have Josh Reynolds going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the wide receiver 3 on the Rams still can get production. We saw it last year. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Brandon Cooks all when healthy were performing. There should be no difference for Josh Reynolds because we saw last year when Kupp got hurt, Josh Reynolds stepped up to the plate. And when Brandon Cooks got hurt, Josh Reynolds stepped up to the plate before the bye. So I like him this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers to be an okay flex in play. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, please click that subscribe button down below. I love each and every single one of you guys. Make sure you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, my friends.